Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Mike. Welcome to the Virtual Y, and this is 30 minutes of what we call mindfulness, movement, and meditation. So it's a unique kind of combination that's designed to bring us into a more one-pointed mind, be more mindful here, present in our body and our breath. And the reason we move a little bit is to get ourselves better accustomed to sitting. So a lot of the movement that we do is around limbering up the spine and hips and also strengthening them just so you can sit. One bit of programming, if you are joining us via a live stream, just want you to know that the YMCANorth.org offers the Virtual Y at just $9.99 a month, and you can get classes just like this and all kinds of others as well. All right, so on to our practice again about the seat. If you need to sit in a chair, please sit in a chair. Just make sure you sit away from the back of it, because we all want to find our seat right now. Any crossed legs will do, and begin establishing that nice alignment through the spine. Okay, so head, neck, and trunk lift, and maybe you do a little gentle sway side to side, front to back, and find your way. And I'll give you another tool here. The Chin Mudra joins the thumb and the index finger, and we would say that that's joining the fire and air element. It creates just kind of this nice gentle circuit through the body, real common, used when we are sitting, and you can use it one of two ways. You can rest it on the legs, make sure that your upper arms are feeling comfortable, or, and this is for a little bit more grounding, or you can rest it up if you are feeling like you would like to receive knowledge, receive energy in any way. Again, whatever you choose, make it effortless. Make your last adjustments to your pose of your seat and close your eyes and draw yourself inward. And I'll ask you to call yourself home. Call yourself back into your body at this time. Call yourself away from all of the things that demand your attention, external things. Maybe pausing as you begin your practice to notice what things are forefront in your mind. Do you want to pursue something that brings you pleasure, and so that draws you out? Or have you been preoccupied with something that you actually want to avoid or have fears about? Know that all of these things are obstacles to your practice and obstacles to your ability to be present. And so when we practice mindfulness, we bring ourselves in and away from these things and onto our breath. So begin, if you haven't already, of noticing your breathing, the anatomy of your breath. Still just kind of gently reminding yourself to remain sitting upright and noticing the air at the nostrils, noticing the way the belly moves with the inhale and exhale. If you're able, even eventually, just kind of understanding how the diaphragm works at the bottom of the rib cage, forming that dome as you exhale, and then flattening as you inhale, and that's what actually moves your belly. Just being aware of the flow of your breath. This very most basic of pranayama. We associate the word pranayama with breathing, and prana does mean breath in a sense. It means our life essence, this breath that you take in. You should regard it as something that is life-bringing, something you can always connect to. But know that prana as your breath and as your life force is more than just your breath as well. Think about the things that you take in through the gates of your senses. The food that you take in, all of these things nourish us. Be with that prana in the form of your breath for now. Bringing awareness to the front side of the body and gently encouraging it to, again, lift in an effortless way. Maybe as you exhale, you're able to draw your navel in just a little bit and feel that support. Keep just that lightest of engagements in through the area of the belly button. Drawing your awareness up the back side of the body as well. Noticing how the breath moves through you and feeling the side ribs. Maybe they expand a little bit at the bottom of the ribs. This is our most basic practice, bringing ourselves into breath awareness. And you shouldn't feel self-critical if you find it challenging to remain centered on the breath, because all of us have these thoughts that want to grab at us. What's important is that you practice, and if you are committed to doing so, that you practice with regularity. And with that practice will come a loosening of those resistance patterns. Notice your breath. Draw your energies away from the worldly things in your life. At a certain point, you may even notice that the breath becomes more like a wave, more like a natural movement through the body in and out, nice and smooth. And maybe you can even notice a slight activation up the central channel of the spine as you lift. Again, in time and with practice, drawing your awareness inward, just being more and more able to sense how your body is at any given moment. Gentle cycle of breath. And then please deepen your breath and blink the eyes open. Today, I want to do a little bit more on the back end of class because we're actually going to do a relaxation part of it as well before we come back to sitting. So now here's where we want to do a little bit of motion. So clear anything out of the way and come to all fours. And there's kind of multiple reasons why I like to do this. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's do our basic cat stretches. Inhale, lengthen the front side of your body. And as you exhale, if you like to, you can tuck your toes. To exhale, come back and just reach back into any of what we would call kind of like a child's pose. And we'll flow with this. As you inhale, maybe you even pull on your hands, draw yourself forward, and exhale, come back. So why are we moving? Again, I want to make sure that you are able to sit. Inhale. So you may come from your practice various type parts of your day, whether you are just waking up or you have been sitting all day in a chair. Inhale, maybe you've been exerting. This movement is helping us get things back alive and centered. Good. And then go ahead, the next time that you are on all fours, stay here. And we'll do some opposites. So what you're going to do is reach your right foot back and your left hand forward. And if you want, raise them off the floor. And exhale. Here's another reason. What we're doing right now. Coordination, concentration. Inhale, extend left. So we're doing opposites and right hand. And exhale, put it back down. So in the yoga tradition, that's what we're practicing here. Inhale, right foot, left hand. It is said pretty much that, this movement, all of these postures that we do really are preparation for meditation. So that's another reason why I include it here, because it's on the path. They're all on the limbs of yoga, and these postures, truly in their core essence, are meant to be preparatory to help us sit. So like I was just talking about. All right, let's extend. Good. And go ahead, put that back down. Let's come on out and walk yourself a little bit out towards child's, and then thread your right hand under, thread the needle here, and then release yourself on down. See if you can release your shoulder onto the mat, and giving yourself, you're opening up your hips, extending your spine, opening your shoulder, all of these places in the body that we want to be well, functioning well. Because if we can't sit comfortably, we're going to be really challenged to have any kind of meditation. All right, let's change sides on that. Reach the other one, thread the hand through. So we're going to take a few moments here to just make sure we do a lot of stuff for the spine and open up our core, open up our hips, strengthen and fire up our core a little bit. All right. And let's go ahead and return to that all fours place. And we're going to come onto our front. So lower yourself all the way down, and we'll do the simplest of what we call Cobra Flow. So hands are under your shoulders, and shrug your shoulders back a little bit. Keep your elbows into the body. We inhale and lift away from the floor. Maybe you press a little bit, and exhale, just come on back. So that's all. You're going to notice here, though, inhale that you can involve the entire backside of the body. So exhale, and I want you to coordinate your breath with your movement. That's part of what we're doing. That breath awareness does not go away. Inhale, awareness at the glutes and tailbone. Exhale. Good. So nice and active down there. Awareness at the lower back, mid back, upper back, neck, and skull. So involve the whole back side of the body, and know that if you have disc issues or back issues, just do little bits of this, little bits. Let's do one more flow. And then bow one last time. The next time you lift, let's go ahead and just hold a lift. Maybe even slide your hands back towards your bottom ribs. Slide them back. And just kind of maintain the lift for a sec. Again, energy, 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 driving toward that central channel, keeping us alive and balanced. All right. And then hands under shoulders again. Let's go ahead and press ourselves up. And sit to the side. And we're going to come around and do what we call sometimes a butterfly pose. If you want, you can sit up on that blanket again. I didn't today say soles of the feet together. Anything about that seat. It can be any blanket. You want to sit up on things though. If this feels really tight for you, place your hands behind you and just, press yourself up. Let your knees go wide. The seat should lift you a little bit. You don't have to have a proper meditation cushion, but you'll learn pretty quickly if you're exploring what to sit on, what helps and what doesn't. So, you can experiment with it. Those meditation cushions, they usually have the buckwheat shells in them, so they're fairly firm, but they shift. All right. And here we're getting into those hips. When we sit, we want the inner and outer hips to be a little supple. Don't worry if you can't hinge forward. Again, you were right here. And breathing, we're still breathing. So if I'm not saying inhale and exhale, I still want you in that meditative breathing pattern, okay? Because you're training yourself to keep that smoothness going, that one-pointedness, and that calm mind. Training, all right? So that when you're not doing this, eventually you'll call yourself back to that ability, right? Nice. Let's go ahead and come on up. And then I want to get to what we're doing fairly soon here. Let's do 2 more things. Let's turn on a boat pose. So I want to fire up my navel here today. You can either hold underneath your knees and just kind of let this hover. Make sure your back is long, or you can lift on up. If you're accustomed to doing this or abdominal exercise, you can go further, but go an amount, and maybe you use less of your hands. I would like you to fire up your core, okay? All right, this isn't a workout, but again, the point is getting the certain parts of the body flowing energy right and open and fit for sitting. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and lie back, and then we'll do the last thing, which is going to be just a bridge flow. So put your feet down, and then nestle your shoulders in a little bit. And what I want you to do is, as you inhale, arms come up and hips lift. And as you exhale, coordinate so that the arms come back to the side and they touch at the same time as your hips. So challenge yourself to practice concentration. Inhale, lift. Hands touch the floor when the hips are highest. Exhale, 1 vertebra at a time. The tailbone is last, touching when the hands do. And we use words like meditation kind of broadly. And I would say that a lot of times, a lot of what we are actually practicing is concentration. We're practicing the skill of concentration. Let's go ahead, let that be your last one. Give yourself one big knee hug here. And what I want to do today, a common element in this sequence, is something called Shavasana. And we're going to use this to weave into the second part of our meditation. And Shavasana, if you aren't familiar, is basically a relaxation. So from here, we want to relax for a few minutes, and then I'll give you something to do while we're here. You can either put your feet wide and knees together. Please rest with your palms up at your sides so that they take in no stimulation. Or you can lie the body out long, all right? Your back may like your knees bent. So find yourself settled, and I'd like to draw your attention to some of the finer points about what it actually means to just relax for a moment, to have a rest. Settle in and bring back your anchor, your tool for mindfulness, which is the focus on the breath. So here in what we would call Shavasana, this rest, we can always and should always return to the breath. Stay lying, get comfortable, and notice the rise and fall of the belly. Again, being all right with just being still and quiet for a time. And here today, I'm going to ask you to draw the distinction between this Shavasana, this relaxation and rest, the distinction between that and sleep. So this is not a nap. I want you to remain fully present and conscious on the state of your breath and the relaxation of your body. Maintaining your eyes closed and maybe even feeling the weight of those eyes. Bringing your focus maybe to the inner corner of the eyes, sensing some sweetness there. And again, just scanning the body for any points of tension and allowing yourself to release that. Noticing the breath once again and always, and drawing yourself inward, noticing if those thoughts, those random thoughts have returned, and if so, bringing yourself back to the body, using the anchor, knowing that the thoughts will always come. Bring yourself here. And you know, sometimes what the body needs is not a nap per se, but truly just a rest where sometimes the body has some things it needs to do. It needs to digest. Sometimes the brain just needs that break and to travel free. And so a rest need not be a nap where we enter sleep cycle, but it can just be truly this time where we unplug. Okay? The rest is not scrolling through social media. It's truly a rest for the body and the brain. And while you're here, I'd like to invite you into practicing something gentle that will lead us into our meditation again in a bit, and it's called a Soham Mantra. So I want you to just kind of maintain your awareness on your breath, bring it back, and bring it actually back into some depth again. As you did in the beginning, draw a slightly deeper breath, effortless, and a slightly deeper exhale as well, and just kind of put that on a nice wheel, a good cycle of breath. Stay focused here. And we're going to add an internal mantra to this, and it's called Soham. So just being with the feeling of the breath. Now, silently, when you inhale, imagine or sense the sound so as you inhale. And as you exhale, the sound hum. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. And now this isn't anything that you speak, just experience it. Maybe even notice, draw inward, and notice the body making the sound so as you inhale, making the sound hum as you exhale. This is one of the most universal mantras. You might think of it in this instance as the mantra the body makes with its natural rhythm, with the vibration it generates as you breathe. Let each sound flow smoothly into the next. So hum. And know that the meaning of Soham is, I am that. And now, I'd like to invite you to take a deeper breath, and when you're ready, roll onto your side and press up and return back to a seated position, and we will pick up our meditation practice here and have some continuity. So with effortlessness, find your seat of meditation again and get ready and bring yourself back into awareness. And this is a pretty common progression for a practice. So coming back, and I want you to again draw your focus into the area of your nostrils as you breathe, keeping smooth. And imagine that as you breathe in, the area of the midbrain, sort of at the upper part of your sinuses, is glowing a little bit with every inhale. And returning to that concept of prana as you take in air It's like filling your cup. Life force. Soft white glow, maybe a little bit bluish, purplish. And when you can maintain your sense of this light, I want you to draw it down and let this descend as slowly as it wants. Let it descend down to the area of your heart center. And once it comes to rest there, just kind of let it light that space of the heart center. This sort of cave of the heart that knows no sorrow and is lit by this inner joyous light. Maybe even sensing what comes with that light, a sense of intuition, a sense of something that's always with you, who's born with you, knows what's right, what's real. Allow this light in the heart center to expand, glow, and grow. And just have this sense, again, of the essence of our mantra, this sense of I am. Maintaining your awareness. Now the breath is probably more like a gentle wave, something you're not necessarily in tune with, but now in tune with that sense of I am, that essential center that is represented by this inner light. And then we're going to bring ourselves back to the sense of the mantra as well. And this time, I want you to, on your next inhale, experience the sound of hum. And on your exhale, so. Inhale, hum. Exhale, sa. And one more time now, having reversed this, sense your body making these sounds with its natural vibratory rhythms, still remaining effortlessly upright. Inhaling, hum. Exhale, sa. And just as Soham means I am that, Hamsa you might think of as meaning that I am. And the that being this inner quality, still lit from the inside with that glowing light. Inhaling hum, exhaling sa. Again, if you are finding yourself drawn away, do not judge yourself, just gently draw yourself back to the practice, always you have that anchor of the breath, and now also the anchor of that mantra. Hum, exhale, sa. And then please begin to deepen your breath again. And I like to seal in our practice. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center and bowing your chin into your chest. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Please do return to your meditation more than once, I would ask. You absolutely will find that the experience can change. What you experience today can be different another time. Depends on maybe the time of day as well. You could also choose to do the end part of this class again if you feel like the body is feeling all right and you don't need the movement part. That is okay too. And if you have any questions about any of this, drop a comment or a question down if you're live streaming on the channel. Otherwise, if you're on the virtual Y, there's a button down at the bottom of the page and you can ask me any question, all right? Take your peace with you off the mat. Bye now.